G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's time for one of my walkthroughs of my garden to show you where I'm at. This is just before winter, just before spring. It's starting to warm up. It's still winter, but it's starting to warm up. This is the large Trident maple. It's freshly repotted. Beautiful Yamafusa Japanese pot. Freshly repotted. Beautiful, looking good. I do have a long branch here that I'm trying to, there it is, trying to actually want to create a bit of a layer in there because it's a bit bare in that spot, but the ramifications starting to come along. Still needs a lot more, but I'm pretty happy with that. It's going really well. And my Trident on the rock, repotted as well. All nice and inside, about to pop as well. Another Trident maple. Lots of Trident maples. You know my love of Trident. This is that Trident maple I featured recently in my videos. These are those Japanese maples. They're just sitting along, just waiting to pop. I can see some buds starting to come up, so it's good signs all around there. Got a few little things there and a few little clumps of Tridents. These are actually really nice. I'll just show you these guys. These are the coral bark, red bark Japanese maples that I've air-laid off my other tree, and I've just put them into nice little bonsai pots because they're quite slow growing. I just want them to plot along and be quite nice. Let's have a look here. Another Trident, doing really well. This is the Trident that I just recently featured in my videos with the blue pot. You can see it's quite beautiful. This is that big Juniper that I still belongs to a client. I'm returning it soon in a couple of days, going back to the customer's house, and should be good. A couple more, let's have a look. Another Japanese, that's a Japanese maple. You would have seen my videos before. And one more over here. Nice, another Japanese maple. All yet to pop. This is my heaps of little Tridents that I'm growing. My little bed of Shimpakus that I'm just growing. But yeah, that's pretty good. You've probably seen this one before. This is just my stock plant for Shimpaku air layers that I create. See how I've got wire on some of those branches? Those branches will be air laid this year because I wired them up last year and they should be good to go. Seeds, seed trays, so on. I've shown you these seed trays. They haven't popped yet. Still too early, but we'll see how it goes. This is a group of Trident maples. Hopefully you can just see that. Just want to show you something. This is an air layer of a Trident maple. I took the top off it. Had multiple trunks at the top, and so on. Now people have been asking me about cuttings, juniper cuttings, Shimpaku cuttings. See all these little things around there? They're all cuttings. All I do with cuttings, guys, very simple. This is the spot in the garden that gets not too much sun, and all I do is take the cutting, kind of shave down the pointy end where I'm going to stick it in the soil, so I make kind of exposing the cambium quite a bit, and then I plant them in some soil. Just put them all together in a pot in some soil, and off they go. Now I just want to show you one thing that I did promise one of the comments. This was a cutting. It's quite large that I just took and just shoved in the pot, and guess what? It survived. Only one little dieback on a branch. It's absolutely full of roots. I should have shown. I just repotted it on its own now. But yeah, that's how big a cutting I took, and it worked easily. These are just little ones, but this is a big cutting. No problem at all. Now the Chinese Quince has started to flower. So that's looking good. I have a few more Shimpakus, as always. Lots of Shimpakus. More maples freshly repotted. This is starting to come up nice, this tree. More maples. It's a Japanese maple in the back there with some dead wood. Now I want to show you this thing. This is a new tree I acquired recently. It's a very, very large juniper. Not sure the variety. It's not a Shimpaku. It's got nice foliage. It could be a Sabina. I'm not 100% sure which one it is. But that's a future video. I think the other side's the front, but that's okay. Future video coming up on this big boy. Also coming up, I want to show you this very large, it's actually Juniper Spermata. You would have seen it before. It's got a really nice trunk. It's got 2 live veins going up the trunk. And now I have successfully, which I'll do in a video separately, I've approach grafted 2 Shimpaku there, one there, and one at the back here, somewhere over here. I'll do a proper video on this one. It's successfully done this one, and successfully done this one here, this one here. So I want to put these guys, I'm getting ready to put into the thing this year, and I'll do a video on that. Looking forward to it. Just let's go a quick walk through. That's a nice black pines coming along nicely. There's all my little Shimpaku air layers that I've taken over the years. I'm just sorting them out because I'm doing recent videos on cleaning them up. I've got a large olive, the spruce group that needs to be worked on. This little black pine you would have seen featured in my channel quite a bit. Looking good. This is a new black pine that I acquired as well. Really good. Haven't worked on it yet, but I will do in the future. Base is pretty sweet. I've got this very large lily pillar, which I'm also going to do a video on coming up. More Shimpakus, more cuttings that have gone really well for Shimpakus. That big black pine that I've tried to air layer. I still hold up hope, but I'm not 100% sure. This little guy is for Brian. Brian, this is the mother Shimpaku. Still going well. Just needs to be redone, restyled. It's got healthy again after a few dramas. Now this is something nice. I recently acquired this guy too. It's a very large juniper too. Beautiful deadwood, but the tree's way overgrown. Another video coming up on styling that tree. This is a lovely black pine that also picked up recently. The front's the other side. I'll show you that in a minute. Now, this is a blue spruce that I'm going to do a video on too. So lots of stuff coming up, but this is a real tricky one. I'm trying to find the front of this tree, and it's been quite tricky, but I'll get there. It's got lots of fronts. Now we'll swing around to this little guy, which you would have seen recently. Beautiful Zalkova. Let's have a look up there. Let's have a look what else we can see. So that's that new pine that I picked up recently. Now, do you see this little Japanese maple? That was featured in my young maples that people seem to like to watch that video. It's been repotted into its first pot, trying to get a pot going. That's a nice little black pine you would have seen before. Lots of my minis that are around here. I'll try and show you. My little Shimpakus are there. Now they've got a funny colour because it's the frost. The frost changes the colour of the Shimpaku foliage. They go brown. Some little Shimpakus are looking nice. And in front of them are the maples that are recently repotted. Another Shimpaku. More maples. This is another recent acquisition in this black pine. It's quite nice as well. Nice old bark. I'll do a video on that one too. This is a bit larger Shimpaku you would have seen in my collection. Again, the colour is because of the frost. It changes the colour. Another one in there too. This is those tridents that once they fuse together the base, that's all fused. I start to develop in a bonsai pot just to make them interesting. I have a little black pine there. Another trident, one of my favourites there in there. A little firethorn. This is nice. This is another root over rock trident maple. Also recently acquired this one too. In a beautiful Japanese pot. Comes up really nice in that. This is another little root over rock as well. And this is another featured trident maple that you've seen in my videos recently about repotting that one. Looking really good. Very large black pine here, still going well. And of course my radiata at the top here, doing quite well too. And now here's something you don't see every day, an Australian native, a callistemon, that belongs to a customer that I'm going to actually attempt, my first attempt at a Australian native. So it's going to be very interesting. Look at that base on this thing. Look at those fissured trunks. Quite stunning. But challenge for me because natives are not my strength, but I have an idea. It's quite a beautiful tree. You can't really, it's going to look great, I think. Styled in a very natural style. Again, will be videoed. So subscribe to the channel, guys. Well, there you have it, guys. That's a quick walkthrough for end of winter. Hope you enjoyed it. Nice. Hopefully next video will be a spring one where you see all the foliage back on these trees, which will be really nice. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.